A woman truck driver witnesses two cocky bikers mocking a heavyset trucker at a fuel stop. While they laugh, the crowd grows tense and silent, clearly aware of something the bikers aren't. The trucker simply smiles, his scarred knuckles hinting at a tough past. As the tension builds, it becomes clear the bikers picked the wrong man to mess with. As two loud bikers mocked a calm heavyset trucker, the crowd grew tense, sensing something the hecklers didn't. The trucker stayed composed, his quiet confidence unsettling the duo. With the other bikers exchanging knowing glances and stepping back, it became clear an unspoken boundary had been crossed and the real power in the moment wasn't with the loudest voices. As Jake and Travis mocked the trucker, the crowd fell into a tense silence, sensing something bigger brewing. The trucker remained calm and in control, his quiet confidence unsettling the hecklers. But before we start, smash the like button, subscribe and ring the notifications bell so you never miss our upcoming stories. Their jokes lost impact as unease crept in, the shift in power becoming obvious. Without a word, the trucker commanded respect, and the bikers slowly realized they'd misjudged the man and the moment. If anything, he carried himself like a man with unfinished business, something only he could settle. I crossed my arms, choosing to wait, just like the rest of the crowd. He was about to flip this whole encounter on its head and I wasn't about to miss it. I let his words settle, considering the years of experience behind them. The trucker's silence, his steady composure, it wasn't emptiness. Bill's insight shifted my perspective, making me wonder what kind of story this man carried. The kind that didn't need words to be heard. Instead of laughter, Jake and Travis were too blind to recognize. Everyone else had caught on except the two fools still trying to poke a bear that wasn't in the mood to play. And then Bill nodded, a small smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. It wasn't just politeness, it was recognition, the kind that comes from shared history or mutual respect. Whatever was about to unfold, one thing was clear: the trucker was not a man to be underestimated. But the air held more than just gasoline fumes, it crackled with anticipation, maybe even a quiet respect. It was a shift so subtle that only those paying attention felt it. Jake and Travis, still lost in their own bravado, had no clue they were no longer the main characters in this story. Their laughter, once loud and cocky, now felt forced, misplaced. The confidence that had fueled their taunts was starting to wane, leaving behind an uneasy energy that clashed with the bravado they had tried so hard to maintain. The challenge was absurd, and a few nervous chuckles rippled through the onload. There was something almost unsettling about his calm, an unshakable confidence that made it clear he wasn't playing the same game as Jake and Travis. If anything, his laughter only deepened the mystery, making everyone wonder just who. The silence that followed was deafening, heavier than any comeback could have been. The cracks in their bravado were showing, and even Travis seemed to realize that instead of shifting the energy, their expressions told a story: admiration, caution, even unease, like an unspoken debate playing out among them. The energy shifted, the crowd wavering like a fire caught in an uncertain wind. The trucker remained unwavering, his presence a steady force against the storm of speculation. It explained the trucker's unshakable presence, the way he commanded attention without force or bravado. Bill's insight shifted the moment, turning it from a mere standoff into something richer, an untold story of history, of lines drawn not by ego, but by respect earned over countless miles on the road. And these two had no clue they were poking a tiger, oblivious to the quiet power behind those steady eyes. And then Bill's whisper cut through the charged air like a slow-burning fuse. "That's Mad Dog McClane." Locking eyes with Jake, his gaze was steady, unreadable. "You should choose your words wisely, friend," he said, his voice calm but laced with something that made the air grow thick. The effect was instant. Conversations died, postures shifted, and even the birds overhead seemed to pause. It was that moment in a movie when the plot twist clicks into place and you suddenly realize just how deep the story goes. It was the kind of revelation that flipped the script, like discovering your quiet neighbor was a legendary outlaw. People leaned in, suddenly more invested in what this trucker had to say. Even the petrol pumps, silent and still, seemed to be waiting for his next move. You could almost see the gears grinding in his head, piecing together all the hushed stories he'd heard but never truly believed until now. The bravado that had carried him this far bled away, replaced by the cold, sinking knowledge that he'd just made a very big mistake. Rick inched forward, his camera still rolling, as if capturing the scene from a different angle might somehow make it all feel more real. The weight of history pressed down on the crowd, reshaping the legend of Mad Dog McClane right before our eyes. No one dared to move, every breath held in anticipation of what the trucker would do next. This trucker, this Mad Dog McClane, wasn't just another drifter passing through. He was something more, something legendary. The laughter died off. Even the bikers, once so smug, now stood still, eyes fixed on him, waiting to see what would happen next. Jake and Travis's bravado crumbled as the crowd turned silent, recognizing the quiet power of McClane, a legendary figure hiding behind a trucker's calm exterior. Without saying a word or raising a hand, McLean dismantled their arrogance through sheer presence. As the bikers backed down in quiet defeat, it became clear this wasn't just a confrontation, but a lesson in respect delivered by a man whose legacy still commanded the road. People drifted away in small groups, their quiet conversations carried by the breeze as they reflected on the scene they had witnessed. McLean's quiet triumph had shifted the course of their afternoon, leaving an impression that would linger long after they were gone. The names and faces may change, but the unspoken rules remain the same. In that moment, I understood the value of treating everyone with respect, whether trucker or biker, because you never know who might surprise you with their quiet strength. They weren't strangers meeting for the first time, but veterans of the highway understanding each other without the need for words. McLean's presence was a quiet testament to the unspoken bonds that connect those who spend their lives navigating the vast, open road. Bill caught McLean's eye one last time, and a subtle nod passed between them, not just a gesture, but a moment, a silent recognition forged over countless miles and shared roads. It was as if they had wandered in after the final act of a show. The gas station eased back into its usual rhythm, the extraordinary fading seamlessly into the ordinary as life carried on. I reflected on what I'd witnessed and the truths it revealed, that appearances can be deceiving, and that sometimes I felt thankful for the reminders, both big and small, that the road always has to offer. It struck me how a person's mere presence can shape the world around them. McLean hadn't needed loud words or grand displays. Through quiet strength and unwavering respect, he had left behind a lesson in grace, carried forward on steel and wheels. Watching the road stretch ahead, I tucked the day's lessons into a quiet corner of my mind. But the truths they reveal offer wisdom beyond measure, a realization I knew I'd carry with me. The respect he commanded came not from force or words, but from sheer presence, a lesson in both humility and strength. As his figure faded in my rearview mirror, his silent story echoed in the memories of those fortunate enough to witness it, a lasting testament to the quiet power of integrity. But today had been more than just fuel stops and truck engines. It was a reminder of the unseen stories woven into our journeys. People returned to their routines, yet something lingered in the air, a subtle trace of the extraordinary hidden within the ordinary. McLean had shared one of those lessons, a quiet reminder of wisdom earned through experience. As my rig rumbled forward, I felt the road stretching endlessly ahead, knowing it would keep teaching me, its stories unfolding mile by mile.